Hi everybody. Welcome to the Porch. 321. Someday we'll have to tell you how we got that name. Anyway, I'm here to talk about stuff. Oh my goodness, stuff. What to do with it? I can't let go. Well, sometimes life hands you things that you have to let go, and sometimes it has to be done in a quick manner. Now, I was talking to a neighbor, and his mama passed away, and she had a lot of stuff, a lot of very high quality stuff, and a lot of, just stuff. So we discussed different ways for him to disperse these beautiful items and some very, useful items for plenty of folks. So I just want to talk a little bit about that first of all, because sometimes you don't have the luxury of time. Now, he lives close by, he comes every week, and he sorts and he goes through. I've given him the name of some estate sale planners and different things. But when you are time crunched and you just gotta move and get it done, whether there's rent due or whether it's just, it has to be done, there are a few steps you can take. First of all, the things that you can't rush, just can't rush. The paperwork, any prescriptions, just things like that you have to put aside. If you can put the paperwork in some sort of storage, that would be great. Not that it's out of mind. You got to make a plan to go through it because it has to be dealt with. That's the one thing. Everything does have to be dealt with. But at least that is out of the way, because then you got to work quick for all the rest of the stuff. Now, if things are very high priced and of high value, then of course you're going to want to get an appraiser and different things like that. But if you're simply looking for perhaps just to get rid of it, you may want to get an estate sale planner. They can come in. Generally, they charge about 30%. We have very reputable ones here in Brevard County, so it's something to look into. And then what you got to do is ID the keepers, the things that are going to be left to the heirs. These are treasures, family treasures, whether they're of value or not, they're treasures. If they're high value, and in some cases, if there's an executor of the will and lawyers involved, you may need to get appraisal values of these things, and there are personal estate appraisers out there. But for by and large, perhaps an estate sale, they would come in and they'll, they'll let you know if they can sell your household. This is when life hands you some lemons, and so the things to do is to just push forward and get through. So you've ID'd the keepers, and there is extra effort in selling. So if you don't want to sell, if that's not something you think there's a whole lot of high value, there are other ways you can do, of course, garage sales, yard sales, things like that. You can donate. We have a wonderful, I spoke to my trust attorney, and he suggested Inc is a thrift store of all the churches in this area in Brevard County, and they have a network. I will put that name down in the comments. But the other thing that you can do is just besides the decluttering, you just have to plow through it. And as I said, you make that plan to get back to the paperwork. Don't leave it in limbo because in a cloud over your head. It's got to get done. And then any remaining stuff, just decide, well, is it worth giving away, trying to sell, and just do the best you can. Try to be careful with yourself. A lot of times, as I said, when life hands you these lemons, it gets really overwhelming. So ask for help, and perhaps hire someone if you can, and if not, just do the best you can. But as I said, paperwork, of course, you've got a lot of drugs and prescriptions that would have to be checked with the doctor or whatnot, how to dispose of. Perishable foods, things like that. Non-perishables can be donated, but perishable foods, perhaps, quickly given away. So there's a lot on your plate when these things happen, and just talk to someone, whether it's a realtor, to get some ideas where to go. There are things you can do, even when you're pressured and under the gun. You don't just throw everything in the dumpster first thought. So if you need any assistance, call the person you can trust. All right? And that's it for the porch. But just remember, that stuff is a lot easier to accumulate than it is to get rid of. So keep those keepers in mind and make sure you know who they're going to, and then the rest of the stuff, let's get a game plan and do it. That's all for the porch. Bye-bye.